Good morning. I'm higher vibrations, and so are you. There's a lot of comments already. Welcome to everyone who's here. Thank you all for coming. There's a lot of intense energy happening right now. A lot of us are having like all kinds of ebb and flow experience and sensation, and it's just a lot. And so we'll address some of these comments first. Tommy says, "Greetings, all. Can't wait to see this get started. Feeling off balance and floaty type of feeling, and just kind of out of it. Weird." Yeah, so that's actually one of the main things that I've been kind of feeling too. Is like I call it disorientation because I don't really feel like I know where to put my feet. Like I don't. It's like I'm don't have spatial awareness or where understand where gravity is completely. It kind of feels it feels doesn't feel uncomfortable. It's just like, what do I do? Kind of sensation. And that's usually paired with for me like this buzzy, tingly kind of sensation, this experience of like, I don't know, it's just you kind of feel out of sorts, right? You're not really sure where to put your knees, kind of a feeling. Um, Vicky says, yes, Tommy, it's strong today. Yeah, it really is. Vegan Vixen, yay, I got the notification. Yay, I'm so happy that you got the notification this time. Hello, all of you beautiful souls. Love from Wales, UK. Good to see you, sweetie. Vanya says, hello, all beautiful higher vibration souls. With all the solar flares that have been coming in, it's felt like a roller coaster ride all week long. Yeah, feeling tired and sleepy, the exhaustion. If it wasn't for the tiredness, I think that I would be doing a lot better. It's just that I feel like I'm running on empty constantly, and just and and at the same time, there's this like drive or desire to do things that I just don't have the motivation or the energy is the right word for to fulfill those things because I'm just so tired. Um, Vegan Vixen, 2 weeks intense and overwhelming anxiety and panic attacks so severe that I have lost over a stone in weight. Wow. This has been triggered by finding an invasive weed throughout my garden. Okay, so I do know what you're talking about a little bit. I kind of had the sense of it. Like it for me lasted 4 days. It was really intense. It ended. Really, the end of it for me was yesterday. The end came from uh intentionally creating a bubble of light around myself, like with like certainty. Like what I mean by that is just like this will be done kind of an energy almost, because every time I was doing that before I was interrupted by something. That something would interrupt me, and it felt after a while like it was being done on purpose. I don't really know for sure, but um and then the last step of that was to release it through speaking it out. I had a lovely sister conversation last night that really released a lot of this stuff that just needed to be spoken out. And that's something else too, is allowing this to be released, allowing it to come out, even if it sounds silly to say it. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, allow it to be released, and then it's really beautiful. um the fact that you've been doing this for 2 weeks, I really, I feel for you, sweetie. Like that's not easy at all. Um, the finding an invasive weed throughout your garden, is this a an allergy, or is this like a literal, or both? Because sometimes that happens on both planes. Like you see a example and then it's seen in other places of your life. Just curious. Deb says fatigue and fibro is keeping me low key today. Yeah, this fatigue, I'm having this too. That's part of this extreme exhaustion. It's not even simple exhaustion. It's just like there's moments where I probably could nap, but I just want to be at rest instead. It's something, it's different. It's fatigue. It's and exhaustion. It's very strange. Breathing. So what I was talking about, breathing in the light, let's talk about that for a moment, because it's really powerful and really useful in a lot of different situations. Okay. So not only when we're in this kind of a state, but also if we're feeling the need to just for whatever reason, fill ourselves back up, clean the energy. So what it is that in your heart center, you have, every one of us has a little soul fragment. It's a beam of light that's really, really bright and really beautiful. This beam of light can be expressed as small as pin of a needle, and it can also be larger. And it's first originating, you're like, there it is, kind of thing. So noticing this has nothing within it. It is pure light. And then when we breathe in through the nose, we are breathing in the light of God, right? We're always bringing in the funnel of light from God, but we're doing this when we do this with intention. It helps to accelerate it and amplify the experience. You can make the beam of light that comes down from God like this slowly grow to where it's completely like a shower of light all over it. When it goes through this way, it does fill us up. It just takes a little bit longer. And this way, it's just more like an embrace from God. It's really cool. Anyway, so as we breathe in this light through, we breathe in through our nose and we see the light coming into us. And then as I exhale through my mouth, I, with intention, grow this orb. And this orb grows bigger and bigger. And noticing that nothing that isn't of the light may be within this space. And we grow it bigger and bigger. And what we end up doing is pushing a lot of like parasitical, like energies and stuff that we just collect. That's just a regular thing. We push it out to the surface of the bubble that we're creating. And it's useful to know that typically we keep a sphere of energy that is people who are full on awake or full on asleep and not aware of their energy. It's usually about a 50-foot diameter. So you stand within the middle and 50 feet all the way around, 50 feet this way. However, I've noticed that most people who are awakened and aware of their energy, it's quite a bit bigger. You could be up to 75, 175. What I'm telling you this for is that you want to grow this bubble as big as at least your energetic sphere. So what I tend to do is grow the sphere as big as the room if I can. It's not that much effort. It's really kind of cool to watch it happen. Exhale, grow. Exhale, grow every time it grows, and it gets bigger and bigger, and all the things that don't serve us are then released, and they're grateful for it. They say thank you. They send gratitude energy back out to us as we're doing it. This is a way to clear off all of this other stuff, and to then you get to work with your own energy. Now you're with your energy, and it's easier to do. So it does help. If that's something, I hope that was something that would be useful to anyone else. Vanya says, Ascension is happening in the body now, and we need to remember it. So many symptoms like dizziness, exhaustion, leg pain, apathy, weight gain. This is a bad one. Sluggishness, sadness for no reason. Right. We are having a lot of these things happening. Like I'm having the same thing. This weight gain thing, I'm having it too. And I got the understanding, and I'm glad to have understanding for it. At the same time, it's just kind of, it's not typical for what was happening for me before. I was having a weight loss, and a lot of people still are. And that's correct for you when you're in that space. Right now, for one reason or another, I need to contain more light. So I need more body mass is the reason I found out. And that was really useful to know. So, and along with that, there's this fluctuating appetite thing a lot of us are having, as we're starting to listen to our body and just hearing what it wants and doesn't want as much, then we can start to address those things as they come in, instead of like guessing and hearing here and there, this is good for you, this isn't good for you, whatever. Does your body want it? Is your body something and that has to do with things that are non-addictive substances. Just to be clear, there are some things like sugars and things like that are addictive. And so sometimes those cravings are just your human and not anything to do with the ascension. I still indulge in those cravings on occasion. It's part of being human and being in the human experience. So Genevieve, good to see you. Vixen, I am all over the place. Cannot even barely find words that feel useful. Full on hermit mode. I am having flashbacks of things I didn't even know I had inside. Yeah. Yes. And that's because it's really cool, I think. And it might not feel cool when it's happening right away, but what's happening is, so you're raising your frequency up high enough to be able to address these things, to be able to heal these things. And so just like in a video game, when you have enough of whatever it is that you need to do the next mission, right? Then the mission pops up and says, hey, you can do this mission if you want. That's what's happening in our own energetic form, is that these things in us that would benefit very much from healing, that are now able to be healed say, hey, now that you can, here I am. What do you think about it? And so that kind of flashback stuff's coming up. Withdrawal. You mentioned the hermit mode. So I really want to talk about this because this is a grand scale experience. A lot of people are feeling the need to withdraw. Like I was talking the other day with some people in one of the Zoom meetings, and it's just, I realized that a lot of the spiritual YouTubers that I had typically followed are not available right now. They're just kind of all gone, and it's not them leaving anybody behind. It's just right now a lot of us are being called to withdraw, to pull back into self, to go in and go within, take some time away from large groups and just kind of experience your own energy so you can use this time for the rapid healing that it is. We're in a window of time leading into the solstice that the energy is amplified. It's like healing central. This is the precursor to a lot of other stuff that we typically have throughout the summer, but this particular one is much more amplified than it has been in the past. Like I can't recall it being this intense for the solstice before. And it feels exciting though. It feels like, yay, we're here. But at the same time, it feels in my body like, oh, there's so much that I just don't want to do right now. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Edward says, I went to the grocery store and OMG, so many people giving off some very weird vibrations. Yes. So this was a channel thing that came through a little while ago, that those around us will start to lash out, as well as ourselves will notice irritability and frustration, those types of expressions of emotion. And hey, it's 12:12. I love those types of things. And so is such is true as well for neighbors, friends, acquaintances, people at grocery stores. That's where I tend to interact the most with a strange group or strangers. Strange, they're strange group. They are kind of strange sometimes. And the vibe, like you said, it's like it it's as if they can sense that we're about to move into a new frequency, and they just don't know what's going on. So the visual I was given in that channeling was ants. They look like ants running around and like freaking out, like, ah. And so it's kind of like that sensation energetically. And they're they're strong. They have a projection range that's pretty vast. And so that bubble I talked about, that white bubble, you can use that as an energetic shielding as well. It's like a buffer, because what you're breathing in, the white light that you're breathing in to this bubble to expand it, is love. It is pure love. And love is the strongest thing in all the universe. And so filling that with that love kind of creates a buffer so you won't have to experience everyone. Like you're a powerful empath and you're going to feel a lot of other people. And sometimes it's hard to know if it's us, or someone else. And so just keeping that in mind is really useful. Carmen, good to see you. Hi, Pamela. Love you, sis. Thanks for the message. So good to see you. I'm really happy that you're doing well. Carmen is a brother that's been on this journey with us since the very beginning of this channel. It's fun to see how much he has grown. Mother Nature says, hello, all of you beautiful souls. Wow, what a week of energies. I'm still having sore, aching, weighted legs, itching, tingling fingers and toes. Let's not forget the exhaustion. Yeah, you listed it, sister. Like that's all and more. Like, so what's something else that's happened? Remember I talked about I had this weird thing in my hand and I knew that I was getting charged. I was getting like an upgrade in my hands, healing hands thing. Well, it's happening a little bit on this side. Like, I don't know if you can even see, like there's a crookedness to my finger. And like it's temporary. Every time this happens, it's a temporary thing. It's just bizarre because it doesn't look like it will be temporary. I don't know if you guys remember showing you my fingernails were like bent, and now they're normal. So just a lot of this stuff happening. The leg stuff, the weighted legs, I'm really experiencing that. Also, there's been the amplified rashes, like the little red dots that aren't acne, but they look like acne. I've noticed that this time around they're a little more itchy. I've had most of the areas that I talked about before completely clear up, but now there's spaces in other areas. Um, there's a lot of stuff going on with the back and the spine right now as well, all the way down to the hips and behind the knees. The knees are a place that a lot of people are having sensation right now. Behind the knees in particular, I know this is going to sound kind of strange, but you know, most of the implants, a lot of us have implants, and most of the implants that we have are actually good. They're actually there to help us. There are some that aren't. And I've noticed that the ones that people are having leave them are behind their knees for the most part, behind their knees or on their elbows. It's the most bizarre thing. And they um are organic looking when it comes out, but it's obvious that it looks like a grain of rice. Um, what you can do to help these, by the way, to help these remove is just to declare that you remove your consent. You can use your own wording. Um, Steve Nobel um, just posted a implant removal meditation that I listened to for a moment. It sounded like it was pretty much online for. I don't follow a lot of guided meditations anymore because when I start to do meditation, then my guides and higher self are like, "Hey, let's go this way," and I just abandon what. Eventually, the person talking just becomes a disturbance, so I turn it off. It's not because it wasn't beautiful content. Anyway, so that's something that you can access that will help you. There's a lot of different ways. So just declaring it, just saying, I remove my consent for any implants that are not meant for my highest good. They are no that for them to become deactivated and for them to leave my physical form, my energetic body. You can be as specific and thorough as you'd like. When I first did that, it was very, very, like couple of words. I didn't do very thorough at all. And within 3 days, like I was seeing all kinds of stuff coming off of me. So just to keep that in mind, it's really helpful. Um, Genevieve says, Edward, I ain't going anywhere unless I have to. Sirens on and off all the time around me. It's surreal. I've been noticing that too. Very interesting. Like I live in a micro town over here. Like there's 4,000 people here. And for us to have such an occurrence of like constant ambulances and emergency vehicles and EMS and stuff, it's just really strange. It's like they're everywhere. We are in a period where there are um, going to be a handful of different things like that happening where people are just um, ready to do their next step in this phase of development. Sylvia says, hey, Pamela, just FYI, I got the notification you're going live. Yay! I'm glad you guys are getting it. So what I did differently today was I didn't post it until like an hour before I was going live. I thought that posting it the night before would give everyone more of a heads up, but maybe I should just do it this way. I think I will, at least until I hear that it's not doing any good or something. But thank you for telling me. Esther says, hello, dear family. Good to see you. Good to see you, Esther. Metaphysical Mike, the craziest thing? I realized that I absorb subconscious programs that I am mentally challenged, which isn't even true. But so many people told me that it made me believe it subconsciously. This is the boxing. We've been boxed over and over and over again. Like in many social groups, I'm considered crazy, or they called me the crazy garden lady for a while. I'm that person. Someone's like, oh, there's something going on, I should go get pills, and I'll say, no, I have an herb for you. And that to a lot of people is very crazy thinking. And so, as well as in my family, because I was having a lot of ET kind of experiences. My first near-death experience happened when I was 4, so I just had a lot of activity growing up, and that even though a lot of things were proven, my family called me, they called me the liar because I would make so many things up, and I had such a wild imagination. And now all of these things are being proven, so that's helpful. But there's still that conditioning that you're talking about, right? That we've accepted this programming, and to remove your consent and to realize that you are valid, that your information is correct, is the most empowering and helpful thing that you can do. Once you can trust yourself, once you can trust your own gut, your own instincts, your own intuition, then there's nothing that can get in your way. And I think that's why these programmings were designed. Most of these social norms were presented from somebody else, right? In my opinion, and trying to keep the awakening down. So Prol 111 says the final countdown was written in the sky by planes in Germany, like in The Wizard of Oz. Really? That's very. Oh, wait, I remember seeing something about that like a year or so ago. Do they do it again? Well, that's really interesting. Sylvia says very foggy headed coupled with dizziness today. Yeah, I've been having that too. Like feeling like I haven't taken cold medicine for a long time, but just I remember what that sensation was like where you finally felt detached. Like but it's like in moments, like it's like for just a second, like I'm leaving and back, and it's really bizarre. Um and then the dizziness, I'm finding it to be like what's the right word? It's kind of like vertigo, lightheadedness, and dizziness combined. There's got to be a word that means all those three things, but that's the sensation that I'm getting too. Um, and forgetfulness, focus, difficulty. Genevieve actually was mentioning it on her live the other day. That was fun to join that. Thank you for doing that, sister. Um, Finding that a lot of that focus and stuff has to do with that same clump of experience. It seems to go hand in hand. Pardon me. I've also been having this upper respiratory kind of thing going on. I know it's not the the Rona or whatever, but there's a lot of other people talking about this thing that's happening. I think it has to do with the throat chakra actually, and it just kind of feels like it's this. It's something that's interesting. Genevieve, Germany keeps coming up. Daughter is 11 and even started learning in this week in her wait her daughter is 11 and even started learning German to speak German this weekend on her own. That's really cool. That's really interesting too. Craig plays games. What is going on today? I feel very weird. Yes. Okay. So, solar flares, Schumann resonance. We're having earthquakes, big ones all over the place. There's that volcano that's down south. I don't. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the name of the area, but you all, I'm probably are familiar with what I'm talking about. There's a lot of this stuff that's sending in. What's happening outside is that there's a lot more energies. It's fun if you do remote viewing to go up above the planet, knowing that you're grounding yourself first. You're grounding yourself here on this planet, digging your roots down to Gaia, remotely viewing up, going up above the planet, not very far. There are a lot of ships and they're all just kind of like camping out. Reminds me when I was in Seattle as a younger person, and they would have the 4th of July thing on the water. People would go out there with their boats, and like those who didn't have long enough anchors would connect to each other. So there was like this connection of boats everywhere, and just kind of to watch an audience of the fireworks and the jets doing their thing and everything like that. It's like that up there. There's so many ships, so many spaceships that contain consciousnesses, that contain higher beings of light that are here not simply to be in witness and audience to what's happening, but also to be of assistance. Most of them, some of them are kind of indifferent in that way, but they're not here to harm us in any way. They're here to help us and to watch us do this thing that we're doing. What we're undertaking is an amazingly historical event for all the cosmos. It sounds so arrogant to say that out loud, but it's true. Like we really are going through, and what we're doing is affecting all of them. So of course they're invested. It's really cool. So I don't know, any of you who do remote viewing, it's kind of fun to go up there and see on your own. Star Traveler says, yes, I am feeling so out of sorts and lost. No energy, allergies flaring up, allergies that I'd never had before. This is a phenomenon that a lot of people are having, like having this, which might actually be what I'm talking about here. It just, there's this like drainage happening and stuff that it's just really strange. A lot of people are like, all of a sudden, for instance, the doctor down the road was talking a while ago about the fact that there's this phenomenon through the clinic of people coming and presenting with meat allergy, which is a new thing. They've never had that before. That's never been a thing before. And I'm not sure if it's official yet, but a lot of the doctors are accepting that they're calling it that, and prescribing to the patients that they don't eat meat in order to remove these variety of allergies. And it's not just meat though. We're noticing of all kinds of things that we're not in harmony with anymore. I don't think that it's all of a sudden there's something new introduced to these foods that's making us not in alignment with it as much as it's we have raised our frequency and we're continuing to do so above what is harmonious for the experience with that particular thing. So something that wasn't a toxin before, counted in the classification of a toxin, knowing that a toxin is just something that your body's not happy with, right? Um, Now, wow, that my ear is ringing so loud. I wonder if you guys can hear that. I guess this microphone doesn't pick up anything. I can't even snap when anybody can hear it. Yeah, wow, that's very fascinating. Anyway, um, and so as we raise our frequency above what that thing is, then it no longer is in alignment with us, and it turns into an experience like a toxin, or even the sensation similar, perhaps, to food poisoning on some occasions that I've had. I had to discover that foods contained in tin, in metal, so like in cans and in drinks and stuff like that, it wasn't good for me. It felt like I was poisoned, like I had been previously literally poisoned years ago, and so it felt just like that until I stopped eating things that were in metal. So that's me. Everyone's different. So finding your own path. Wow, we just jumped down. Oh, there's a lot more people here. Hello, welcome everybody. I think I got some kind of delay going on over here. All right, let me try to catch up. I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. Maybe the exhaustion. Oh, I lost it again. Come back. Okay. Well, Metaphysic Mike, the craziest thing I realized I just read that already. Okay. Here we go. Sylvia says maybe the exhaustion is wanting us to be still. Yes. In fact, I'll get this particular kind of headache that's behind my eye. It's very faint, very dull headache. And it's not that big of a deal, though. That's been me, the way that they call me to meditation. Because when I'm not in meditation, I am one of those people that's like, this is going on, that's going on. I'm doing things, I'm a mother. I have a lot of different responsibility, and so my ego gets in the way of downloads. Like it's just like a thing. And so if I get that kind of a dull headache, it's because they want me to go into a meditative state so I can get the downloads and not be so distracted by all of their things. So, I think that is a lot. What's going on. Thank you for saying that, Sylvia. Craig says, I feel like I'm in a microwave. Interesting. I wonder what that sensation would be like. Wow. Would you please clarify it a little bit? Wow, that's a lot. Genevieve says, Craig, like nailing Jello to a wall today feels like for me. It's a day, isn't it? We're having some intense stuff going on right now. It's beautiful, guys. It's beautiful. It's good. It's really good. Like the higher realm energies have been in celebration for a while. And then we're just kind of catching up. They're always saying that we're in an echo chamber. It's like we're living in an echo chamber. We're getting like the after of it as it comes through. So just keeping that in mind, knowing that with the space that we're in right now is exciting. It's beautiful. It's celebration worthy. It's simply allowing ourselves to move through this density. We're lifting up. Visually speaking, it looks a lot like a gray filament, a gray cellophane is being lifted off of stuff. You don't even realize that the color beneath was being distorted or shaded by some kind of a shadowy, duller color. And it's like it's pulling it up. It's really bizarre. And so I don't know if it has something to do with, we've already been standing on Gaia, on New Earth for a while. And it's just been about our ability to accept where we are and to then project the visuals that we need to. So I don't really know. It's cool though. Hello, Donna. Good to see you. Hello, all from Victoria, BC. So much light. Have to wear sunglasses indoors most of the time. It's these solar flares. I've been wearing sunglasses too. It's amazing. I have become somebody who didn't wear sunglasses anymore. And it's just, wow. Yeah, it's intense. Vegan Vixen also really awful stomach, feels so queasy, and I'm almost sick. Stomach area is really, really common right now. If it's not in the stomach, then it's in the back right behind the stomach. This area, the sacral, as well as the solar plexus, as well as the root chakra, really, but it's mostly the solar plexus and the sacral area of the body that people are struggling with the most. And it tends to be on the right side. And energetically speaking, from my background and what I've understood by that, the right side is the divine masculine side. And so that's like the divine masculine anchoring stuff that we're doing right now. There's a lot of divine masculine stuff going on. We're moving into what is, at least in the States, is Father's Day too. So that's divine masculine kind of acknowledgement period there too. But yeah, so that's really common. Allowing ourselves to see. So we all have a beam of energy, of light, of beautiful energy that moves down through like all of the chakras. And I've shown you all this before, but I'm going to show you once or again is that so our energetic line looks kind of like a string, and then we try to fit that string in our physical form, and so there's a clumped up spot. Most people are noticing it in this torso area, this lower sacral or solar plexus area, though some people are noticing it in their root. And what needs to occur, and so what we've been doing is we've been starting from the top. So when we pull in the light, we go crown chakra, third eye, and down and down and down. And what this is causing is it to clump up. And so what they're asking, what's being suggested is that we start from the root and then dig that root and let it extend to its fullest extent. Our body's this, and this is the remainder. This is meant to connect to Gaia's heart, to there's also these beautiful, cool, moving streams of collective consciousness, love, light in Gaia that is like some kind of, it's almost like, I don't know, it's a solid and a liquid. Anyway, they're all over and they're like underground rivers, basically, all over Gaia. You can connect to one of those. You can connect directly to Gaia's heart. And that's what's being asked that we do. And so visually in our mind, watching these roots like a tree digging down into the soil and reaching down and connecting to Gaia. It does help a lot of the sensation that we're talking about. So perhaps trying that. Genevieve says, I am on waking as well. It's something that we're going through right now, and to be okay with that, to be all right with the shifting of our body, that our body's going to change and going to shift as we do this, to accommodate what's needed, and to not have to be in like these other paradigms and belief systems that we were taught. And the trick for me has been to not go into that any kind of shame and like thinking any kind of lower of self. That's that's really easy to do. And so knowing that you're beautiful the way that you are and who you are, and that whatever's correct for you, that's where you'll shift into. Pardon me. Mandolin, good to see you, sister. Hermit mode, very common. Yes, it's just all over the board right now. Like so many people are just doing that work. And while we're doing the work, that's when these underground energies of underground rivers of light are growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're coming up to a place where they're kind of going to surface, hey, it's 1 2 3 4 right now. That's fun. I love seeing that. Yeah, so it's really cool. And so as we're all going hermit mode, we're also putting intention into these places and expanding this light. It's really neat. Amy says the allergies are insane this year, and I'm an allergy person. I'm used to it. So even for an allergy person, you're noticing an uptick in your experience. It's very bizarre, and it's again, an allergy, an allergen is something that's not in alignment with your body, right? And so as we leave what we grow into a higher frequency, there'll be a lot of the things that we were doing before that are no longer in alignment with us, that they no longer assist us. Kim, it's good to see you, sister. Welcome. It's so good to see you. all of the people here. I love you all so much. You're so beautiful. Vanya says, please, guys, hit the like button. Oh, thank you, Vanya. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Star Traveler, I'm also feeling very bored and angry. Anger. Let's talk about that in a second. I'm going to finish reading your comment first. I wake up every morning between 4 and 5 a.m. Just yes, the fluctuating appetite too. All right. So the anger. I am not an angry person. I've typically not been, like, throughout the duration of my life. I have had my moments, especially in my teen years. You know. However, um, when I have these experiences of anger, it's really foreign for me. So I notice it very much. It starts out as frustration for me, irritability. Um, I was trying to describe it to somebody the other day, and it's the past few days. I went through the window of 4 days. I'm just barely on the other side of it after feeling the light bubble, like I talked about earlier at the beginning of this um, live, was just filling that bubble of light and clearing that energy out, and then also releasing through words the things that are going on. It could be something simple and silly. Maybe somebody cut you off in traffic, or somebody ate the last cookie, or whatever. It could sound silly in your own mind, but then when you speak it, it takes away the power, and you're back to being okay again. The anger, though, let's talk about that for a second, is that when I felt into it, I understood that what we're feeling is an echo. There's a lot of these echoes of anger and sensation and experience of, like, what most of us would consider or call a lower nature, just because it's not something that we enjoy that much. Um, Allowing ourselves to express it and to have it release is really helpful. So I've learned a way to do that without affecting anybody else is to go outside where I can see the sky. And I don't even use my voice, but I energetically shout. I shout and release that energy like a wolf howling at the moon, in a way. And you can do it with your voice if you'd like. I just don't like what happens after I don't have a voice. And so just doing it energetically, plus I'm not alarming my neighbors, it really helps just to release it. These simple things. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday that they found a whole bunch of old phone books, and they just ripped them up, and just let it out and let their anger and frustration out. And that really helped. Um, Once we get past the emotion part of it, what happened for me is that suddenly I started to get the visuals that went with it. And the visuals I was getting were long time ago, a long, long, long time ago, like, oh, so long ago. And just the experiences of these past lifetimes, these times when we were holding in and not wanting it to get on somebody else, and then just kind of keeping it imprisoned and trapped. And so it just needs to be released. That's it. That's why it's an echo. It's not you anymore. It was you forever ago. In some cases, it wasn't you at all. It was someone else who was incarnated that you've come here to assist. Most of us who have come here have that very experience, is that we're coming to heal other trauma for other people's incarnation, because when healing isn't done in a lifetime, the next lifetime some more adds to it, and it goes and it you know snowballs out until it becomes impossible for that person to really address it. And so a lot of us have come in as a result to just kind of heal other people's trauma, to make it so they can heal, and to liberate them too. So it's something that's just happening right now. Love says, yes, totally needing my time. Taking your time. If you can, allow yourself even moments here and there. It really, really helps. Genevieve, bored, angry. Yep. Target. Bullseye. It's we're definitely having this, and the boredom, I have been hearing a lot about it. I've also kind of sensed it a bit. What I've noticed it's for is to remind me to go back to meditation, to go back to my energy work, to go back to that stuff, trying to remove my distractions, or my desire to be distracted by the outside world and things. That the drama people are getting louder, and they're there as a way of distracting if we allow them to be. Vicky, hello, Pamela loves. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Vicky. Thank you for coming. Everything is good, says Kim. I totally agree. Mandolin, as we expand and evolve, we also need lack of stimuli to recalibrate. Aha, you're right. Thank you for saying that, Mandolin. Esther, I have a beautiful week behind me. I had so much strength, but yesterday and today, I felt like I am passing out almost all day. Allowing yourself to honoring yourself by letting yourself rest is a really useful thing to do. And all these things are beautiful. They're really cool. It's simply that, it feels kind of like overwhelming sometimes if we can't, if we don't allow ourselves what our body needs and what our soul needs, and that is to rest, to go in and go within. That means go away from people and meditate, in whatever way that is. My frustration has been that even though it's raining and all of the people in the world are going into my nature now. Like that's my place. No one else goes there. It's so weird. Like having to look for a parking spot. Are you serious? This is in the middle of nowhere. What are you people doing here? So find some place to go where there aren't people. Or if you can't, in my situation, find a place where you can close yourself off at least for a little bit. I've used the bathroom as a way of getting away over the years, whether at work or at home. There's a lock on the door, and that's a time I can meditate for 5 minutes, and most often won't be disrupted much. So, in the work situation, it's a lot easier. Star Traveler, I can't afford to be tired. Yeah, that's the part that's really is that we really don't. A lot of us don't have the ability. But though you can do the 5 minute breaks in the bathroom stalls at work, that's something that does really help. It recharges, it recalibrates, and all you got to do is just spend 5 minutes breathing in through your nose, finding the release as you breathe out, feeling the peace, feeling the love, noticing the light of God, the light of this beautiful white light filling you up and like just expanding you and helping you. It's almost like it fills you up to where it's easier to stand straight, kind of filling up. Almost like when you inflate a balloon that's supposed to be an animal or something like that, filling in its arms. It's kind of what it feels like. Allowing that to be your guide or your assistance through those moments does help. I'm glad I caught this. Hello, all. Spiritual warrior. Good to see you. I'm glad you caught it too. Donna says, yes, that like Batman before going out, shields up. So weird out there. Yeah, shields up. And the thing is, we're not causing anyone. We're still helping people. That's the best part about this white light of love is that we are sharing this white light out too. It's like a buffer. And as we move through the crowds, that extent the however big you've made that beautiful ball of white light, that's as far out as you're going to be able to interact with others. You'll be able to brush by them and assist them. I found for me that when I do that, um, I end up having a lot more individuals wanting to come and talk to me, tell strangers telling me all of their stories that they've never told anyone before. I don't know why I'm telling you, but they don't stop talking, like that kind of thing. Um, at the same time, it doesn't feel disruptive. Like they feel like they're somehow in this awakening too. They just don't know that I am as well or something. They're just drawn to us. But you also assist others by doing that, just walking through the shops in that way. So it's something to keep in mind. Jenny, hello. She says, hi, Carmen. Hi, Kim. Hi, Mandolin. Hi, Pamela. Hi. Good to see you. Maria says, hello, everyone. So glad to be here. Lots of love from Argentina. Wow, awesome. Argentina. Hello from Estonia as well, Katrine. Good to see you. Madeline says, hips, knees are about your direction. Interesting. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. There's a lot happening right now with that way, just being guided forward, right? Jenny, hang in there, girl. Jenny says, thank you, Mandolin. I'm seasick on dry land. Haha. We love you, Jenny. Star Traveler, my back is hurting mostly on the upper left side. My back never hurts, so this is unusual. Upper left side, that's really interesting. So that's the divine feminine side. And I do know that for me, when I first started to notice my energetic wings, I first noticed it on my left side. So what that is it sounds silly to say it. We have these amazing energetic wings. They are wings that we're noticing. What's more is that they typically are twice the height of your height. And so, like, if, whatever, however tall you are, consider the fact that we are trying to now calibrate how we stand. And so we notice this pain right here, back on the shoulder blade area, and like also that V area between the two shoulder blades. That one was the one that bothered me the most. It was really uncomfortable because it felt like it pins and needles, like it was like I had my hand had fallen asleep and it was starting to fill back up and get circulation back. That pins and needle feeling that was happening for me a lot, and right that in that area. The left side's where I really noticed it, that it was a wing. I also noticed I was kind of slumping forward a bit more. I also noticed like just constantly having to go. Anyway, so this is something that a lot of people are having. I'm having this sensation lower now, this almost identical. And I know I'm noticing what I'm filling in right now is a third set of wings. So I thought that I had two sets. So one set underneath that, another set, and underneath that, there's another set. For some reason, I feel like this lower set is shorter. It feels like it's not as long as the other ones. So I don't know if that resonates with you or not, though. That's something that I had experience with, and others had reported too. Let's see. And I lost my spot. So we're just going to pick up where I'm at. Hey, Prithvi, good to see you. Hello, all. Love. It's so good to see you, sweetie. Vanya, the time here is 2222 right now. This is so my number call. That's awesome. I'm so happy that you got, I saw that 1222 when it popped up. Star Traveler, I don't have any dizziness, just a stress headache for the last few days. And it's hard to focus on things I need to. Focus is a big deal right now. We've been talking about that for a little bit. I've been noticing it. And I know what's happening when there's a couple of things going on as we're doing all these upgrades. It's distracting, and all of our energies being directed to a specific space, as well as we're doing work up here. When I am the least focused, it's usually due to that, is that I am doing energetic work. We're incarnated. This sounds silly to say, though. Time isn't real. Time doesn't truly exist. Linear time isn't a real thing. And when we begin the incarnation cycle, it's not like we come and do this one, then this one, then this one. We go and we incarnate into all of our incarnations simultaneously. And so we are doing stuff over here and over here. And right now, there's something that's going on this energetic plane over here that's requiring more of my focus and energy. And so I'm becoming less able to focus in body right now. That's my understanding of why it's happening for me. I don't know if you can relate. Let's see. And there's Carmen. Yeah, okay. Madeline and Carmen are having a conversation. Let's see. Star Travel. I said that already. Okay, Okay, we're having I'm not going to read the ones that you guys are talking to each other because I want to let you have that privacy still. But then I jumped way over. Craig plays games. Oh, that's Mandolin. Okay. Craig plays games says, my cat has gone to sleep on my back. Laugh out loud. That's never happened. That's really cool. Your cat's giving you healing on your back. A lot of people are having this sensation in the area of our body. Donna, hello from Eugene, Oregon. Sending love. Good to see you, sweetie. Volume stopped. I hope that others can still hear. Oh, she says better. Okay, good. Vegan Vixen, neck, shoulders, knees, toes, knees and toes. Yeah, right. We are having a lot of stuff happening for this upgrade stuff right now, and it does tend to be our extremities, but mostly our legs. Also, that's the area that a lot of us are getting like these little bumps and stuff. Like I got them on my knee. I know I showed them to you guys last Wednesday. These just weird little bumps, on the knees, and then like even on like the upper legs. A lot of people are talking about them on the belly. A lot of like feeling like you're gonna vomit, that just slightly. Jenny, you already have that, but that's something different that's going on for you. There's just like this, it feels kind of like just a little bit like morning sickness for those who understand what that sensation is. It's just not quite like you're gonna vomit, but probably, as well as this weird appetite stuff and just this whole area. And so this area down here is an area of our body that is associated with the organs that we're talking about. Many of them are anger, fear, fright, bitterness, those types of sensations or energies. And so we're noticing those parts of our body, those organs in our body kind of saying, hey, they're doing that because it's like, hey, let's heal this part now. There's this energetic healing that needs being done. Do you have time? Because you have the ability now, the energy is available to you. And so we're also starting to sense a lot of these things, like we talked about the anger coming up, the frustration, the irritability, and also just to be clear is there are two main emotions that are across the experience, and most people have there's a whole bunch of names in between, though they all either come from love or from fear. That's it. Those are the two root emotions. And in the place of fear, so this is God. God is the most perfect, purest love. And the opposite of that is fear. And so that's why it feels so uncomfortable when we go to this spectrum, because we're really resonating more in this spectrum over here. And we're kind of in foreign land when we go over here. What's more is that when we go into a place of fear, the yellow belly, we go into that place of fear right there in your stomach. Right above that, just before your heart chakra and up, it appears like a big gray box is presented over the body. And those chakras are no longer accessible temporarily, just for a moment. And so the solution to that, and I hadn't even realized that before, that cuts off the experience of those chakras, is fill that box with light. Like, it's so simple that it feels almost silly saying out loud that that's the solution. And it really is. It really, Leah, it's so good to see you, sister. I'm happy that you joined us. I must have a huge lag as nothing you are saying is appearing in my feed. Oh, that's really interesting. I'm sorry that's not appearing for you. But it's good to see you, sweetie. Um, let's see. Let's get Cheryl. Let's see. I'm so happy I caught this live. I got the notification. Yay. I'm so happy. I feel great to be here with all of you and be part of this group coming together. I love you too, Leah. It's so good to see you, sweetie. Oh, I'm so glad that you're able to join us, Cheryl. That is really awesome. Like, I've been hearing a lot of people are having more and more difficulty finding that getting notifications. And so from the today's difference is that I just posted an hour before I went live instead of doing it the night before. I think maybe I'll do it that way, and maybe that'll help people to get notified in the future. Prithe says, asking for a friend, a lot of anxiety and heart sinking, desolate, all of the inner work. Oh, sweetie, I love you. You can connect with me if you need to. My um, ability. I have a schedule. If anyone, by the way, is interested in doing one-on-one sessions with me, in the description here, I have my link, my Calendly link. It's my scheduling website. I meet for one-on-one sessions. I've been charging $22 an hour, and I'm going to raise that to $33 starting the beginning of June. Though anybody's already scheduled, I'm just going to let them keep it at 22. For anyone who's interested, by the way, that's an option. And there's also our Telegram group that is like a really awesome resource. There's well over 200 people there. It's really cool. They're people from all over the planet, so you can connect with people at any time, day or night. It's really kind of fun to have so many things. And then there's like a lot of different folders and stuff. So it's easier to find information now, I think. And we also have a weekly Zoom meeting every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's later, so we can have more and more people being able to come in there and accommodating like an Australian. That's so funny. I said Australian in an a really bad Australian accent. um, so anyway, that's all also available to you. The reason that we have that, by the way, is that right now what's really going on is that the healing of the inner witch, I think is what someone called it the other day. What was it? The witch wound. And so we're not saying that everybody here witches or anything like that. It's that a lot of us come from that persecution space. We've come from a place where speaking our truth had a negative or unpleasant, undesirable consequence. And so we have not had the ability or the freedom to speak our truth, to be our true, authentic self out loud. And so now it's possible. Now it's encouraged. And so it's this window of time where we can start to heal through that part of us. And so we've made this Zoom meeting every week to make it so everybody has that chance to be able to speak your truth, to come in, to even just to listen. It's never aired or recorded anywhere. It's always free. And you don't even have to have your camera on or your audio on. You can just come to participate and just listen for a while if you'd like. It's really beautiful. So something to consider. Karen says, "Hi, sweetie. Was in the ER Wednesday with a 5 and high blood pressure. So many of us elderly in there with heart issues. Human resonance so high that day." Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Karen. I hope that you're feeling better. And I'm glad you're back out. Um, a lot of heart stuff, a lot of heart stuff going on so collectively speaking, most of the collective of the human experience hadn't gotten up to the heart chakra. That jog between the solar plexus and the heart chakra was just too much to make it. And so for incarnation upon incarnation upon incarnation, always staying only in the lower 3 chakras. Lower does not mean less than. It's just the ones that are on the lower side of our body. And they're all of our chakras are really useful. There's not just 7 also. There's very, very, very many. There's so many in our body, just outside of our body and back and out. Anyway, so as we're collectively moving into the heart center, a lot of people are noticing symptom about it. A fib is a racing heartbeats. Oh, thank you very much. That's what Karen explained. Thank you for explaining that. Yeah, so this heart area makes a lot of sense as this is happening. As a result, there are a lot of people. Like a 25-year-old healthy kid down the road not too long ago passed away from a heart attack. I was stunned. There's a lot of heart stuff seeming to be happening right now. And it doesn't always mean that it's the end. It's just there's this heart related stuff. And then on the other side of the token, there's a lot of this Ascension Symptoms stuff that has to do with the awakening, with the ascension experience of heart palpitations. I've had some really severe heart palpitations over the years. The one that I remember the most, I felt in my lower rib. Like I felt like my heart was literally down in my guts. It was just so pronounced. And so honestly, that out of all of the different ascension symptoms that I have, that's the one that I still go, should I go in? Should I go get checked? You know what I mean? Because it's hard to know for sure when you're in it. So if you do feel guided, by the way, for any of these things to go get checked and just to be sure, it's not a bad idea to go in and to just get some blood work done if you have the affordability and the time. So Mother Nature says, I had major heart issues a month ago, feeling so much better now. Oh, I'm really happy to hear that you're feeling so much better. Again, yeah, I know, Craig. There's a lot of stuff that's to do with other things too. I am looking forward to the moment where such conversation isn't censored, and so we could still continue. We can talk about it, but you all know what I'm discussing. The energy is so strong, Craig says, seems to be affecting a lot of normal people now. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And what's fun is almost everybody in our experience at this point, like they're the filler people. Like I was talking to some other people about this. The filler people are also known as like non-player characters, NPCs. I always want to say it the wrong way. NPCs. And this is like a hologram or a shadow or an echo of an individual who's soul mission required that they be on the other plane, the other earth. And so as they go over there, there's kind of echo left behind for our benefit to assist us, to not have to like see them all just disappear out of the blue like that. Um, However, the rest of everybody else who are incarnated here right now are awakening. And that's hard for me to comprehend sometimes talking to some of these individuals, and then all of a sudden they're like boom boom, like they're just awake, and crystals and sage and dreams and chakras, and like the lady across the street, holy cow. It's so amazing to watch these little old ladies that I've felt like passing judgment over the years, and now all of a sudden they're like, what crystal do I need for this chakra? And it's, who are you? It's so beautiful, and I love to see it. It's really cool. So um yeah, I agree with you. Let's see. Um, Hello, I don't know how to say your name. Use. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to say your name. Oh, UJ. I wish I knew how to say your name. I'm sorry. Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. It's my first time here, as a YouTube suggested you, and I was curious. I liked the kindness here. Well, welcome. It's so good to see you, sweetie. I apologize that I slaughtered your name. I hope that I can find the accurate pronunciation for you. Everybody says welcome, Mandolin. You found a good space here. Yes, you have. Welcome. I'm happy that you found us, and I hope that you come around more. We have Zoom meetings every Friday. If you want to join us, we start at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 3 hours from this time. So if anybody is able to join that, it's free. I always post it in my community section the day before, because there's a new link every day. She says, don't worry about my name. It's just random. My name is Julie. Oh, okay. Nickname Juju. And I just typed it backwards just because it's weird. Oh, okay, good. I was feeling so bad I couldn't say your name. That's awesome. Well, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And then also we have our Telegram group that's really fun to connect with that way too. Yeah, you'll fit right in, just like Mandolin says. Welcome. I'm so happy that you came. Craig says the Matrix 4 is actually very interesting. Matrix 4? I didn't know there was a fourth one. I'll have to. I think I must have pulled away from movies and stuff like that at that time. Trina, it's good to see you. How are you? Burning back. Very tense, shaking, right leg sciatica. Ibuprofen and Tylenol, not taking it away. Trina, I'm really sorry to hear you're still struggling, sister. Like, man. And the medical people are still out until Tuesday, from what I understand that you were saying. I hope that you can find some relief soon, sweetie. Filling up the white light that we talked about at the beginning was also a way to assist in some of these healing things. If you have the ability, take the moment to notice the white light in your heart center and let it grow bigger and bigger each time that you exhale, watching it grow larger and larger until it fills your whole form. Other experience or examples could be that when you inhale through your nose, noticing the white light that goes into your body, and then when you breathe out, all things that don't serve you leaving is another way to do that. It's very useful to kind of clear that out of, and to get things more into alignment. I'm really sorry to hear you're still struggling, sweetie. Vanya says getting blood work is okay, except most lab machines are off right now and results might scare you unnecessarily. That's an interesting point. You are right about that. Like that, I remember there was this big thing that came out for a little while that kind of piqued my interest, or raised my eyebrow at least, saying that a lot of people were getting false positives for certain types of things that were just interesting to me. So Mandolin has some she says Sciatica, Indica, hybrid cannabis, and Qigong. So for you, Trina, if you're able to access these things, Qigong is really, really useful no matter what your experience is. Qigong is so helpful. Like, I was one of those people who used to like watching people do it in parks and stuff, but I would never do it myself. And then, oh my goodness, there are so many resources available, free resources all over the place. There are so many things on YouTube, and just, you can do, excuse me, I'm very burpy right now for some reason. Um, you can have all kinds of there's just, it's everywhere, and it's so useful as you move. That what you're doing is you're moving the energy. What happens is, inside a person's body, I have the honor of getting to see energy, so I get to see inside of a person's body how the energy is working and moving. And everybody has pockets. It's like, I don't know, corners, or a place that we just kind of, you know there's a surface next to the front door, so it's going to be the piling station, you know what I mean? That kind of concept. There's always this stuff that's not really in alignment with us anymore. And so when we do the qigong, what we're doing is we're giving it a chance. We're moving so it can move, and releasing it. Often too, we'll get thank yous. We'll get everybody saying, the energies as it's leaving, sending it back gratitude as we release it and let it go. Um, and then we feel better too. It's something like a splinter. It's a foreign body that doesn't belong there, and it hurts us, and it doesn't want to be there. We don't want it there. And so doing qigong really helps. Please be aware of the different levels of qigong for your own body. You don't want to jump in overhead, and like when you first start doing it, try to do like a beginner's kind of qigong, and because there's some that get pretty awesome. They're really cool, and I totally strongly encourage that you do try those. Just giving yourself the chance to trust the motion as it's working often helps when you start at a more of a beginner or intermediate kind of space for that. So um, Leah says, I could hardly walk for a couple of years, but I healed myself through Qigong and meditation. That's awesome, Leah. Really great example. So beautiful. Madeline says, perfect explanation, Pamela. The movements bring physical body energy to a complementary relationship. Yes, exactly. Julie says, stretches on YouTube to help release the sciatica. Yeah, that's another really good example. Thank you for bringing this up. And Trina, if any of these are not things that you can find, please send me an email or a message on Telegram, and I'll help you. I'm just thank you all for sharing so much things to help. St. John's wort, Craig says, herbal tablets. So let me say it again. Craig says, St. John's wort herbal tablets, lion's mane mushroom powder, chaga mushroom powder. I've been buying these for years. Very helpful stuff. Thank you very much. There's some really great stuff. Madeline says, they said I would be using a walker by now. The pinched nerves are very real. And, the example that I was going to make, I'm not supposed to be walking according to medical science. I broke my back. I wasn't supposed to be able to. They thought that it would get worse and worse, that I would eventually not have any access of sensation at all, even in my legs. And I said, no, I won't have that. And I did energetic work. And that's actually ended up being where I found Qigong. And so I started to do that. I started to meditate, and I decided to start taking back control of my energetic life. And when I did that, then it became possible to do it. It was hard for me to transition because I was a person who lived for a long time in a lot of different situations that gave me the earned title of victim. And so I devoted that energy to it. I was a victim. I let myself be a victim, and that was the paradigm that I lived in. And then when I decided to be a survivor and say, no, I'm done. I'm done. This is what's going to happen now. Then things change. And I don't have to be mean about it, but when I say no, that's honoring self. When I say this is what's going to happen, then I'm allowing myself to love myself enough to take care of myself, because who else is going to do it? And it changed my life. I couldn't move anywhere without, I had a walker, and then I had a really embarrassing cane. It was embarrassing for me because I was, you know, teenager, 20s, and then nothing. And now, until I had a child anyway, I was climbing mountains, sheer face mountains and stuff, and doing all kinds of, I am back to regular, and it's awesome. And it's all because, we take what's available to us and make use of it, instead of saying, this is all that I have and I'm just kind of screwed. That kind of paradigm doesn't work anymore. So anyway, thank you for letting me ramble about that. Mandolin says, all great advice. Remember, you are each going through your own situation and experience. Yep. What works for one may not be your answer. So don't just get discouraged. Yes. Thank you for saying that, Mandolin. And that's true for all of this stuff, is that all of us are going through very similar experiences, though where we are, our biodome is different. Our biodome is the place and the space that we live. So our biodome starts in our body and then just out and out and out. That's why the food that's grown closer to where you live tastes better, because it's growing the minerals that you specifically need, as well as all the other things. So we're all going to have varying symptoms and experience, and some things that work for one may not work for another. So Vanya says, thank you, Pamela. So nice of you to share your story. Love and light. Thank you. As ZK, you reclaimed your power. The victim mindset is a tough one to transition from, as it shows up in so many circumstances. It does. It's everywhere. And it's promoted by all. Like, as Craig just said, victim mindset is also promoted out there. It's very promoted. Hey, that's great minds think alike, right? And it's like really like encouraged. And it's not just to take away from your experience. Your experience is yours, and it always will be. And you're not to blame for it. We're not asking you to take blame. We're simply saying that some of us have found that when we decide to be a survivor and then to start taking charge and start to decide it for ourselves, then it changes everything about it, energetically, physically, in every way. So, and Prithi says, sending so much love to you, Pamela. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I love you. Mandolin, my bilateral sciatica is truly a pain, but it makes me stop for self-care and balance my emotion and inactivity. So see really is a journey. Yeah, it really is. And we kind of just need to figure it out as we go. We're kind of a chemist with energy too. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Oh, too much, and just figure yourself out as you go. I love you all so much. I need to get going. We're going to have an ice cream social out here, and we're vegan. So this will be really funny to see what happens. But we've made our own fruit popsicles. So we're bringing those, and we'll see how it's fun, because usually when we bring the things that are healthy and that people don't tend to like, those are the things that go first. It's so funny. Leslie, hello from Scotland. I'm so sorry that I'm leaving right now. I would love to talk some more. We will be back next Sunday for the live at the same time. So an hour and 13 minutes ago we started. We'll start at the same time next Sunday, as well as we have the Friday free Zoom meeting that starts at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that would be like it'd be 2 hours and 45 minutes from now. So anyone who feels the need to, or the ability to join, it's free. It's not aired or recorded anywhere. And lastly, if you all want to have a session with me, there's a link in the description where you can schedule a session with me, and I'd love to have a chat with you. I love you all so much. Thank you all for coming. You got this. I know right now is really intense. We all, agreed. We're all having the same experience. It's beautiful. Be in peace, be in love, and especially in gratitude. When we can be in gratitude, all things are doable. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Aho blessings.